What if I told you that the average Section 8 tenant stays in their home for 7 to 8 years? That is more than regular cash rentals. Okay. So, in this podcast episode, this is more like a part two where I'm really going to walk you through some of the properties that I actually own and that I rent out with Section 8. And we're going to go through the numbers. I wanted to do that on a previous podcast, but we ran out of time. So, if you don't know, I am Ashley Lorraine and I have a seven-figure portfolio, no bank loans, no debt, all cash flow, all high cash flow, and I want to talk to you and teach you how to do the same thing. Is that all right with you? Okay, so we talked in previous videos or other videos about, the 5 ways to get started, some myths, benefits of Section 8. So I'm just going to get right into a story time. I'm going to just walk you through my actual properties. Is that okay? And I'm sure there's a video out there where I like share the screen and all of that. I might even do that here, honestly, because I love receipts. I'm new to podcasts and I don't see other podcast people sharing their screens, so I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, let me get into it. Okay, so one of my favorite properties to talk about, I bought this property in the Midwest. I bought it for $50,000. My team went in and did a $10,000 rehab to it just to get it Section 8 ready. Some of the things that we had to do, we added a fourth bedroom in the attic, which is really easy. My crew's really good at adding an extra bedroom in the attic. If you don't know what an attic is, it's probably because you live in the South, but where we invest, they have attics. And what that does is adding an extra bedroom for Section 8 means you increase your Section 8 rent because Section 8 pays by the bedroom. Okay, so that's why we'll add bedrooms, but we don't always add bathrooms. They don't pay by the bathroom, they pay by the bedroom. So it was a 3 bedroom house. We added a fourth bedroom in the attic. And that was not a hard rehab. They just had to put some carpet up there. I think she did some drywall. We had to add a closet, and and you have to also add a like a fire safety ladder. Since it's high up there, they have to have another point of egress or way to exit if there were a fire up there. That was it. That was it. Other than that, it was like little things around, the house that had to get it, cleaned up and rent ready and things like that. So we were all in at 60,000, bought it in cash. You guys know I strongly believe in having at least one or two all cash properties that are high cash flowing. So anyway, Section 8. So when we first got this property, this is probably like 7 years ago, Section 8 was paying 12.50 per month. So it was a great deal. Paid 60,000, I get 12.50 per month. That's about $15,000 what a year. So after 4 years, not only do I get all of the money that I put in back just from rent payments, but I'm still getting tax breaks and all of my equity is still in there. So that 60,000 is still in the house. Actually, it's more because the house appreciated. So it's a great deal, great deal. Loved it. Extra $15,000 a year. Never hurt anybody. Um, Tenant experience. So I had, in that time I've owned it, I've had two tenant turnovers. Just full transparency, the first tenant was great, Section 8 tenant, awesome. I really liked this girl so much, but she lost her voucher. I don't know why. I didn't pry, but and she did. She let me know, hey, Ash, I lost my voucher, so I'm gonna have to find another place to live. And this is why I tell you guys to buy your houses in cash. $60,000. I'm not saying that flippantly like it's nothing, but I've seen some of you guys pay that for a car. I've seen you guys, if you're going to get your hair and nails done every single month, that's what, 2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. I'm not counting anybody's pockets. I'm just saying if you can do it for that, you can do it for this. But anyway, I digress. So for that last month, I did not get a payment from Section 8 and I didn't charge her one. And honestly, I don't want to say I didn't care, but I didn't miss any sleep. I didn't have any loans or mortgages to pay on it. Hey, keep the utilities up, clean it up, good to go. And she left that house in such pristine condition. Like I didn't even have to do a tenant turnover. I mean, it was so clean. Because I told you guys, I screen very carefully, right? I really like the beta personalities, the yes, ma'am. Oh my God, thank you so much. And she was so grateful that I gave her those 3 weeks to move out, no stress, not calling her, oh, may evict you, blah, blah. I mean, she left that house nice. She had somebody come and mow the lawn. I mean, it was beautiful. So then I had the next Section 8 tenant move in there, and that tenant has still been in there this entire time. So no cool story about this tenant. They're still there. Um, yeah, still own that house. Actually, I own the house in a different way. So a couple of years ago, I actually sold that house with owner financing. I do not want you to get shiny object syndrome. Okay, I know people love it when I start talking about creative real estate, but then you're going to get analysis paralysis and you're going to get stuck in what I must buy creatively, and you're going to miss the whole point of no, 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 no. Those deals are not found, they're made. Anyway, so I ended up selling it with owner financing to another real estate investor. Now, I know I have a full video breaking this one down, so I'm not going to go into every detail, but long story short, I become the bank. So since I own the house free and clear, I create a mortgage between me and that investor. That investor inherited the Section 8 tenant, so I already knew he was making money off the property, right? And so he pays me my mortgage payment out of the rents that he gets. And now I'm the bank, but I still get cash flow. It's not as high cash flow, but what I like with the offset is, of course, I got a down payment when he bought it with owner financing. You know, I still get monthly cash flow, but I really like now that I am not the landlord. So if something happens, you know, he's the landlord. He owns the house. I just own the note. I'm just the Chase Bank, the City Mortgage, you know, the Quicken Loans Mortgage. I'm just the lender. Okay, at that point. And so, you know, it took me out of the day to day, still get cash flow, and I'm still able to leverage the note. That's a whole nother video talking about notes, but I'm still able to leverage the note to do other real estate deals as needed. So that was that one. Another Section 8 property that I really enjoy. I mean, I have two that I talk about a lot, so maybe I'll save that for a different one. But another one that I have, I bought this house for $30,000. I had to put another like $20,000 in to get it ready. And then right when we were getting that house Section 8 ready, there was like a random like tornado. They almost never get tornadoes. I mean, the last, anyway. And it did do some roof damage. So then I had to go back and put in another like $10,000 um, to fix the roof. We had to fix some drywall. There was like some framing that had to be redone, things like that. So I was all in again at $60,000. This house, unfortunately, the attic became like beyond repair. It just didn't make sense to try to turn it into a four-bedroom. So what we did with this one is we took some of the dining room and turned that into an extra bedroom because I told you guys I really like those four-bedroom Section 8 pays by the bedroom. And then so for that particular property, we were making about $14.50 a month. Um, of course, I asked for an increase, so we're a little closer to 15 now. But the tenant there, okay. So the tenant there came about an interesting kind of way. She actually used to live across the street. And while we were working on it, she would always come by, check, or if she saw something happening in the neighborhood, she'd, you know, call and say, hey, I see somebody over there at the house, you know, blah, blah. And so I let her know, hey, we only accept Section 8 vouchers, you know, like, you know, sorry, I would love to have you, but you wouldn't even be able to afford this rent in this neighborhood or whatever. Well, she ended up getting a different voucher. It wasn't Section 8, it was from another like state voucher agency or something like that. So she was able to move in with that voucher. And what I liked about that voucher is they paid a year of her rent and they paid me like 3 months up front. So I was like, cool, cool. She's an OG of the neighborhood. She's been living there forever. People respect her. And so by respecting her, they respect my property. She is, I don't know, I enjoy her. I love our little talks. I love talking to her. Whenever I go to Cleveland, I always stop by there to say hey to her. I have other properties in the neighborhood. You know, she'll drive by and say, "Ooh, I saw so-and-so didn't cut their grass." Okay, I'm gossiping now, but anyway, she's been there, and I don't imagine she's going to be moving as long as she has that voucher. So, and I'm glad because I don't want her to. I like her. Yeah, I mean, it's a great place to invest. I don't even know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. You buy the houses really cheap. The rents are really high. I don't want to say cheap. I don't like using that word, but the houses are really inexpensive. The rents are really high. Trying to think of a problem that we had. I can't think of a problem, but I can think of something really cool that started happening. Where I invest, they have something called a land bank, and they have this program. Am I rambling? I might be, but this is still cool. They have a program where if the land bank owns property next door to you, you can buy it for like, should I even say this? Y'all better not saturate my stuff again. Y'all always do this, okay? But it's a podcast full of transparency. $200. they let you buy the lot for $200. So I've never been one like to want to build, but honestly, my GC has been dabbling with this. She introduced me to someone, and some of the properties that we buy, I mean, she literally has to break them all the way down, and sometimes not even to the studs, like past that. So that's something that I'm excited about that we've been doing is buying those lots super cheap next door to any of our properties, and we're gonna start building. So I'm excited to see what happens. But yeah, $200, $200. So it is what it is. So anyway, I hope, walking you through those examples helped you to get a better idea of what you can expect in terms of cash flow for Section 8. I know some of you guys are still married to the idea of a loan. I don't know why, but if you are, I do not judge. When you decide to work with me, whatever strategy you want to use, it's just my job to coach you and build a blueprint around you to help get you there. And of course, to have my team rally around you so that we can give you the resources that you need to do. That you need to do what it is you're hoping to. So again, I'm Ashley Lorraine. I'm happy to talk to you about what your goals are. You can just click on the link for my Calendly and we can just meet very briefly. Let me know what your goals are. I'll give you my thoughts and my opinions on it. But listen, if you remember nothing else, okay, investing is as easy as A, B, C. A, get you an Ashley. B, get my blueprint. C, get my coaching. You do those three things, you already have it all figured out. Okay. All right. I look forward to seeing you in more podcasts to come. All right. Later, Gators.